Rusty was just a big game pitcher for us. He really came up from Louisiana and had the little accent that he has, and he brought up Tony's special sauce to all of us, which was nice. And he's just very competitive kid. And as you know, he led us to the championship that year pitching, and he was a guy who wanted the ball when the game was on the line. So that's what I remember about Rusty.
The first day he showed up and got to our house, bags packed, everything was with him before he took anything up to the room. He was out in the backyard with the kids playing catch, and I believe it was both a baseball and then with a football, and never stopped the whole summer. He was, and still remains, a great friend to our family.
Well, Rusty was like a Southern gentleman to me. You know, he had such a great character about him. He represented himself very well with class at all times. But the funny thing about Rusty is once he got on the pitching mound, he was so competitive. He had a great curveball, a great changeup, and he can spot up his fastball where he needed to throw it. And he was a winner. We knew that when we got him. He was a winner on and off the field. Rusty Begnaud was one heck of a competitor, I'll tell you that.
Well, early impressions of Rusty were, one, he was a great guy. And I don't say that over any prejudice against any other Gull. He was a great guy, and most interesting to me because when he wasn't pitching, he always busied himself with a bat in the Gulls dugout or next to the Gulls dugout. And I kind of got the impression sitting up in my perch with the microphone that Rusty wanted to be called to be a pinch hitter.
The one performance about Rusty Begnaud that really jumps out at me was the playoff game up in Keene, New Hampshire. It was the second game of the playoff, I believe, and it was up there in front of about 5,000 people. It was not a good environment to be pitching in. And Rusty went up there composed. I think early he gave up a couple of runs, and we came back for him, but he just shut him down from that point forward, pitched one heck of a baseball game, and got us back to Newport, where his teammate Mike Bergeron closed it out for us with a championship in Newport for the Gulls.
Some of the best baseball memories that I have were playing baseball in Newport, especially in 2002 with Rusty Begnaud and that championship team. You were a great pitcher, you were a winner, a competitor, and like I said, a wonderful teammate.
Some of his pitching assignments certainly stand out. He was a go-to guy when you needed to get somebody out, and he did the job very well when he was active.
I always noticed Rusty was he was a starting pitcher. Most of the guys like to go down to the bullpen. I think Rusty felt he was another coach. He hung out by the batting cage all the time, by the dugout. And I think for the biggest part of that is so he can look in the stands and see who he can recognize and look at all the pretty girls. I think that's why Rusty used to hang out by the dugout. But he was a special guy, you know. I really enjoyed walking up to him before a game and just, you know, saying hello because he just always made you feel good.
The Newport Gulls will be honoring Rusty Begnaud. Erica, looking for an outstanding, emotional evening here tonight.
It sure is, and as you know, everybody should have their bands, which should have raised somewhat of a good sum of money for the cause and the ongoing research that's going to his debilitating condition. Very filled stands right now, Nick, actually. If we took a look around here to describe to you, there's so many people here, overwhelming support.
But today, Rusty has another challenge in his life. And I'm confident that he's going to beat that next challenge, whatever that is. The Gulls have become more than just a baseball team here. These young men come into our lives for about 2 months, 2.5 months, but they leave Newport and the Gulls as a family member. Regardless of what year they played here, how well they did, they're one of us, they're one of our family, and the Newport Gulls have made a mission statement a long time ago that we're going to support our family members.
I would just like to say thank you to Rusty for everything that he's given to our kids as far as an example on how to be men and adults. Basically, he was one of the most major influences on our family that we've had around ever.